The rare drop table is one of the most historic tables in old school RuneScape, and it's gone without an update for far too long. I have a few suggestions for how it could be improved, including shifting around existing items and adding new ones. I'll be using values, quantities, and tables from the wiki for reference, the link in the description below. Now, the rare drop table is simple in theory. Players who roll the rare drop table have the potential to receive a valuable item for their kill. There are a handful of subtables in the rare drop table that players can hit. They include runes and ammunition, weapons and armor, other, gem, and mega rare. It's also worth noting that free players have access to a very limited version of the gem drop table. They can only roll uncut gems, and I don't think that should be changed for the time being, so Ironman, you can relax a little bit. The rare drop table is old, plain and simple. It came out when the Dragon Medhelm was among the top tier armor, if not best in slot, and it hasn't really been touched or updated since then. And as a result, it includes some pretty odd items. For example, the runes and ammunition table includes runes, as well as steel arrows, and adamant javelins. Adamant javelins released back in 2004, and they didn't have much of a use until the ballista update a few years ago. It seems like an odd pick, but let's move on. The weapons and armor table has stood the test of time and still serves as a decent reward for your kill, regardless of the monster you're killing, so I don't think that part necessarily needs to be changed at this point in time. The other table is fine, I guess, but that noted silver ore drop seems out of place. It's when we get to the gem drop table where we start to see some outlying problems. The gem table includes an uncut sapphire, emerald, ruby, and diamond, but it starts to get a little weird from there. There's a 1 in 2 chance players could get nothing. There are the 2 crystal key halves on there for some reason. Rune javelins are also there, albeit in a much smaller quantity compared to the adamant javelin drop. But then there's also chaos and nature talismans. Oh, and you can also roll the mega rare drop table. The mega rare drop table is fine, I suppose. The items have stood the test of time when it comes to price and value, but it could be better. So, how do we improve this? On September 15th, 2016, Jagex released a major update that included the introduction of superior Slayer monsters and majorly revamped the drop table of several unpopular Slayer monsters. Things like gargoyles, dust devils, and water fiends went from 0 to hero in a single update. Given Jagex's willingness to update several monsters' drop tables to the point where they're a legitimate money-making method now, improving the rare drop table for the modern old-school RuneScape shouldn't be that much of an issue. And remember, the rare drop table is supposed to be accessed by medium and high-level monsters. So, starting with the runes and ammunition table, I think the nature, death, and law rune drops are still fairly balanced today. I'd like to see wrath runes added in a lower quantity though, like 25 or so, because it's a newer rune. I think the adamant javelin drop is just outdated at this point, but javelins do have a place on the table. I'd like to see this particular item replaced with 20 rune javelins, and then for the rune javelins to be removed from the gem drop table. As for the arrows, I think replacing steel arrows with adamant arrows in the same quantity, 150 or so, would bump the drop up a little in value without being too detrimental to the economy. I'd also like to see the rune arrow quantity increased to 100 or so. Considering rune arrows are already pretty cheap around alch value, I don't see this being much of an issue. The weapons and armor table can remain as it is. It still offers a good value and serves as a rewarding drop for most monsters. Now for the tables I have the most issues with. The other and gem tables stand out as being a little odd, so here's my suggestion. Start by removing the silver ore and 3,000 coin drops altogether. The silver ore drop could be replaced with a runite ore or maybe like 8 addy ore, but I don't think that's necessary. And there's already enough coin drops on almost every monster's drop table, and the game already has a gold sink problem, so I think removing the coin drop would help improve the odds of rolling other items on the table, while also reducing the gold coming into the game by a small amount. Next, we need to get the chaos and nature talismans off of the gem drop table, and I think keeping them, but moving them to the other table would be better, and then replace the dragonstone on the other table with an uncut dragonstone and move the uncut dragonstone to the gem drop table. Free players will still have access to the sapphire, emerald, ruby, and diamond, but that's it. Nothing changes for free players. Next, I would remove the loop and tooth house from the gem drop table. They're already on the other subtable, so I don't quite understand why they need to be on both, and I'm assuming the wiki is accurate here when I say that. It also seems strange to me that the Mega Rare table is accessible by hitting the Gem Drop table, so my only change is to take the Mega Rare table off of the Gem Drop table and make it a standalone like the other tables. If this change were implemented, I'd also like to see the odds of hitting any of the drops on the Mega Rare table increased 8-fold. So, for example, a Rune Spear goes from its current 1 in 16 to 1 in 128. It could also be worth adding several items to the Mega Rare table. For example, adding 30 Dragon Dart Tips or 40 Dragon Arrows would be in line with the value of the items already present on the table. Now, the Gem and Mega Rare drop tables both have the chance for a player to roll nothing. No drop. Obviously, this is removed by wearing a Ring of Wealth, and it increases the odds of getting a different drop on the tables as well. I think this mechanic should stay, as it gives the Ring of Wealth an actual use outside of the Grand Exchange teleport and picking up coins for you. I don't know how many people actually use it given the rare drop table is the only table it affects, but still. So that's how I'd improve the rare drop table. Let me know what I got right, what I got wrong, and what changes you would make in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss future videos. I'm Average Joe Scapes. Until next time.